Welcome to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show, presented by Hugh Hattrick. Here at Bathurst in the Forest, my very special guest, Basic Ollie, Rascal, Rabbit, Josh Martin. It's great to have you back on the show. Drive fast and try not to crash.
Good evening, everyone, wherever you are across the globe. This is the man that you've been waiting to see. This is the interview that you've all been requesting. On the Car Sim and Race Driver Show, we say good evening to Scottie, to Stephen Scott. Welcome to the show.
Hello, you. Thank you very much for having me here. Pleasure.
You're very welcome. We've already got 13 people in the chat and growing as we speak, and they're all ready to give their comments. So make sure if you've got a question for Scottie that you write it in capitals, and hopefully I'll be able to read it and try and keep up with everything that's going on. But it's great to see everybody. Now, Scottie, I started watching your streams quite a while ago, and you have a very unique way of, when a new person comes onto stream, of giving them a special kind of prize. Now, perhaps you might want to explain again how that all works.
Oh, it's just a spin to win board with lots of fabulous prizes on it. We've got steering wheels and cash prizes, PlayStation 5s and stuff. And it's really just, it's more for me than anyone who jumps on, especially if another streamer or something comes in, or a real fast guy comes in. It gets me very excited. I was awfully excited whenever I seen you jumping into my stream. I couldn't wait to play with you and get you a prize. But yeah, it's more for me really than coming for anyone jumping in. It cheers me up. It keeps me happy whenever I play it, you know.
Yeah. Now let's see, the first question we always ask on the Car 7 Race Driver Show is, how did your racing and kind of love for gaming, kind of, you can say an addiction or kind of your hobby, how did it all begin?
I've always been into games, even coming right back from the wee CBS game, playing Venture and the Smurfs and stuff. Racing would probably be Mario Kart. The original Mario Kart was probably where I started racing. In terms of a steering wheel, I had a steering wheel, the original Logitech, I think it was just called a force feedback wheel. I had it a lot of years ago, but I never really used it. There was in order for me to play with it, I had to use a couple of books to hold my pedals, and I had a table that I had to bring out into the middle of the room. So it was a lot of hassle having to do it. So I would have only played it maybe a couple of times a year. And then in terms of getting into it properly, I actually got into it because I had a few health problems in 2018, and I lost my health, and I was stuck in bed for a lot of months, and feeling very down. Haven't really had any health problems my whole life, and I've lost my job and ended up on benefits and stuff, and then I found Gran Turismo and started meeting people, and it kind of really helped me get through a hard time as well. And I've just continued now, enjoying playing the game and meeting people and so on. And yeah.
And now there you are. Isn't it amazing? Because we've had a few people on the show that have said they've gone through a particular tough time, but coming back to kind of normal life, or getting back into life, has really been helped because they have the community of GT Sport, or they start playing the games, and they're part of a gaming community again, isn't it? And especially through COVID, it has exploded, because all of a sudden, a lot of people were finding themselves stuck, especially if you're on your own, you don't have a big social kind of sphere, or big family, and it's hard. But this has really helped a lot of people kind of get back into real life again, or kind of a nice community of friends that do good things for each other, which is great.
For sure. Even a lot of years ago, I was into my motocross racing as well, and I know it's only a PlayStation and it's a computer game and stuff, but there's a lot of people out there around the world who they are having problems, and their PlayStation friends are like there to support them and help them through their rough times and stuff. It really does help you. I think so it
Yeah.
does for sure.
Fantastic. We're just getting a couple of quick comments, just saying you're maybe a little bit quiet, Scotty. Is it all right if you can either speak a little bit louder or speak a little bit closer?
I'm nervous. sorry.
No, that's all right. Just in case people
I'll move
can't
the
hear
seat
you.
a wee bit closer, speak a bit louder and clearer.
There
Sorry.
you go. But that's fantastic. Now I'll go quickly to a question we've got from Glasgow. Now, a question is this here: Hugh Hatrick, did Scotty bring home the bacon today?
No, not really. I didn't. I got well defeated, but I was nervous. I was booked onto the Hugh Hatrick show. I wasn't concentrating. I was too nervous. I was thinking about Hugh.
That's fine. So I'm the excuse for a poor performance, is it? So that's the thing. So we now know about where your gaming, kind of your hobby for gaming and how your love for playing those kind of games started. So what are your favourite car and track combinations?
My favourite car is the Beetle, for sure. I drove the Beetle for 3 months, and I was scared to pick a different car because I was having that much fun in the Beetle. The AMG was a lovely car. The season I went to AMG as well. The Corvette, I was on a Corvette a couple of seasons ago. It was lovely to drive too.
Mm-hmm.
And my combinations that I like, any sort of combination at Sardinia.
Yeah.
I seem to have a bit of speed there. At Goodwood, I love Goodwood. And all your usual, all the Formula One tracks. I love Suzuka and Interlagos and Monza and stuff. Any track, usually I enjoy the tracks with a lot of slipstream, Hugh, because it makes all us slow guys feel a wee bit faster because we're able to hang on to the faster guys, you know.
Yeah. Because I was watching your Sardinia, I think it was Sardinia A races last week, and you were right up there. You and Jack, who I think got the fastest time in the EMEA, which is absolutely phenomenal. So big shout out to Jack as well. But you were racing him and you were beating him here and there as well. I saw you had some cracking races. So what is your secret for doing so well at Sardinia A?
I think my secret is that I had the game when it came out. I like to tell myself that. I like to tell myself I'm good at Sardinia and I'm good at Goodwood because I've had as much practice on those tracks as everyone else has had before I got the game. So I like to tell myself that. It makes me feel a wee bit better. It makes me feel like if I had been playing it from the very start, maybe I would have had that kind of speed everywhere on all the tracks. But I think it's one of my favorite tracks, and it has a lovely flow to it. The slipstream really, really helps out. If you're slower than guys, the slipstream works lovely in order to help you be able to hang with them and be competitive. And then as you do hang with, if you're in a lobby and you hang with them for one lap, then all of a sudden you're a wee bit more confident and you find the flow. I'm sure we all have our own wee tracks and our own wee combinations. Like I say, the last time I raced against you, Hugh, on Brands Hatch, you beat me. And I tried my hardest to beat you. I'm frequently beaten by guys who are down in the Bs and in the lower A's. You know, I have a couple of wee tracks and a couple of wee combinations where if I'm in an OP car, I was in an OP car as well. So also I can try to look a wee bit fast.
Oh, you're certainly very, very fast. And you were probably just unlucky on that night when you were racing against me, because Brands Hatch is one of my favourites, and sometimes I can just about get away with a reasonable performance there. But I was probably nervous because you were behind me. So it's always a great track and it's good fun. Now the questions are beginning to pile in, which is great. The first one we have is I know you're good friends with Jack. So you'll probably just about get away with this one. Jack Balling says, have the runs stopped yet?
We run to the bathroom quickly at 8:20. Jesse surprised me with a McDonald's. I said in the stream there, that I need a McDonald's in my life, and then Jesse surprised me with a McDonald's being delivered to the door. And as soon as I finished it, I needed to run to the bathroom. So there shouldn't be any underpants department incidents from here on in. Hopefully, fingers crossed, JJ.
I'm sure you'll be fine. That I'm not really Jeremy Paxman after all, am I? Am I as scary as that? Someone that now Mike Rogers Racing has asked, how long did it take to build your man cave?
My man cave was well, I keep adding to it over the years. It's been up now for 6 or 7 years. When I first got the house, when I bought the house, I walked straight through the house and out into the back garden to see if it was big enough to have a man cave. Because in the last house I was in, me and my dad spent about 8 months, building our own extension on the back of the house. There was like a big man cave, and we just built it out of wood and stuff. But when we came here, my dad found a place, Washington Bay Sheds, and the only thing I had to do was to lay down the foundations for it. And then I went off to work one day, and when I came back home, the shade was up, and then we had to get it all insulated and stuff. And then it was just a matter of every week I went up to the Sunday market, and I would have spent a couple of quid. Oh, there's a wee saying I like, there's an wee saying I like, and I would just slowly add to it over the years. But I love it. I live here, Hugh. I could almost sell my house, only I need the bathroom and the kitchen.
It's great though, because in effect you're kind of in the garden, but you're in a proper room which has all the things that you like, which is brilliant. But and it does look very impressive. I think there's a motorbike in the background there, if I see it correctly. But it's a great kind of collection of articles and that. So yeah, no, it looks really, really good. Now we've got some good messages here. It says here, Flash Dagger says, hello Scottie, it's been a pleasure racing with you in the last week. So you must have been racing him in the last wee while.
Yes, I was indeed. I had a couple of good ones with Flash.
And one of our admins, Rumar, has said, what is the bike in the background?
The bike in the background is a present I bought for Jessie over 10 years ago now, maybe 11, 12 years ago. I surprised her with a pink chopper on her birthday. It's not an expensive bike. It was a wee cheap Japanese import that some wee shop in Belfast happened to, they must have had a deal with some Japanese importer or something, so we managed to get it. It was only like £1,500 brand new. And then we didn't really get to use it much. Motorbikes are a bit like golf. If it's you need the sun and the good weather in order to get to use them. So it kind of lay for a few years not being used, and it was starting to look all rusty and stuff. And then whenever we built the man cave, we were just like, I've still got my motorbike. If the both of us want to go out for a wee drive, let's just try and clean it up, and we'll put it away for a lovely wee ornament. So rather than putting it up for sale, I would only maybe get £600 or £700 for it. So I'd much prefer it, as it's a lovely memory.
Yeah.
As well as, and it's a nice wee thing to have.
Absolutely. No, it looks fantastic. Now Glasgow has asked a good question. He says, how long were you playing GT Sport till you realised you were pretty quick?
I felt like I could be quick pretty right away. I feel like I'm good at racing games. I think if you were good at Mario Kart when you were a wee kid, you will be good at all racing games. If you're playing a racing game and you like it, then you can't really do anything except for improve and get better and better at it, because you're enjoying what you're doing. But yeah, I'm very competitive. If you play me Tiddlywinks, I really want to beat you in Tiddlywinks as well. And just there's nothing. The motocross game that I used to was on a website, so I raced with all the fastest guys in the world on this game. And I found that game when I retired from the real motocross racing as well. And I had a huge big hole in my life after doing the motocross for most of my life. And I found that motocross website and all the tournaments that they run at exactly the right time, because I was feeling like I needed something And
Yeah.
whenever I found that I was able to improve and get into the top split lobbies with the fastest guys in the world, it was almost a replacement for the real thing. I still got like a bit of a buzz whenever I was racing against the fastest guys in the world. So I was addicted to that game for about 3 or 4 years, maybe. So it was, but it was a big help after
Aye.
I retired from the real motocross because it was a huge big hole in my life. And once I
That's a
stopped doing the real stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a massive sport. Motocross is huge, and that we used to have neighbours where I used to live many years back, and they actually had a motocross track in their on their farm, and they used to do a lot of that. But it was, I mean, and the height they get off these jumps is incredible. But no, it's exciting to watch, and just that alone is an amazing thing. I'm sure you have lots of good memories of racing on those kind of dirt tracks and doing all these. Which anyone else would think that's like a stunt to try and stay on the bike when you go so high. But no, it's quite a thing. Now we've got some great questions coming in, and thanks to everyone who's been putting their questions in capitals there, so I can hopefully keep up with them. Now from Darren Turner. Now I think he might be hinting somewhat here. He says, "Question: Who is your favourite sim racer stroke YouTuber?"
My favorite. That's not a one answer for me. That depends on what I want to watch. I like watching people. I'm into watching people struggling in the daily races and doing their FIA races. So I watch quite a bit of Key. I love Rory. Anytime Rory's on doing anything to do with GT, I'm not really into my Assetto Corsa or the other stuff. So I'm not, but it's really all about GT. Love Rory, love Jev. I watch Jev as much as I can as well. The only one who really at the moment, my favorite YouTuber at the moment, you've got to check him out and get him on your show, is chap. I hope I've pronounced that right. I have only found him a week ago, but oh my goodness, I have laughed so hard watching his streams the last week. Really good.
Yeah.
Again, we'll give Jack a shout out. JJ Balding. I'm sure he'll become a pretty good streamer as well. But I enjoy following. I follow, if you do FIA races, that's what I try to follow. I might not be able to keep up with everyone's live streams and stuff, but if you bring a video out of your FIA race, even if it's the likes of Darren or the likes of yourself, I enjoy seeing the stuff that how you handle all the drama that goes on. It's lovely. Like if I watch you, I want you to do good. I really do want you to do good. But it's so funny when it all goes wrong. I sit at home and I just it's really nice for me when I'm watching it, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong too.
You've been watching my streams every week, then I see. I take it, but it was like no. Thankfully, you're not ending up at the back too often. Now, Jack Balding has just said, "Who is your top viewer?" But I think he's maybe answered that in the
top viewer. I know what JJ's looking at me to say. My wee say, and then I say every stream forward. And JJ, he wants me to say the star of the future. Check him out on YouTube, Jack Balding. Make friends with him now.
Now we've got a very good question as well from Jerry NCF1, and says, "Which fellow streamer would you most like to race against on GT Sport that you haven't yet done so?"
That I haven't done so. That's a good question. I've never raced against the top, I suppose, Mr. Lightning. So I haven't, but we've had a race with Kenai. We've I think probably we've had quite a lot of races with. We've bumped into Super GT a few times. We've been in a few races with Kane, with Jay, and with Rory and stuff. So it's lovely to see all those guys whenever you're in a race. Although there's something different when it's top split. Well, we're only ever in top split twice, but it was so exciting for me when I was in top split, just because you know it's the best in the world at that time on the game. It's like extra nerves and extra everything about it is just, it's like the real buzz. I mean, the buzz that I used to get from the motocross racing when you're in a room with all the best guys in the world. It's exactly the same buzz, and it's just a game, but it's the same buzz. I mean, that it gives me during a race.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, no, it must be great. I mean, I can only dream of getting up to those levels. I think my DR is about 33,000 or something. So I've got a long, long way to go. And it's trying to find a track and find the time to kind of measure up to get up there. But hopefully we'll get there one day. Now, we've got some excellent more questions coming in. Another one from Glasgow. He says, how do you find, or do you find time to sleep in amongst all the streams that you do?
I don't sleep much. I really, he says, how do you find time to sleep? Is that what he's what the question is?
Do you find time to sleep in amongst all the streams that you do?
Yeah. Again, I'm not a good sleeper, Hugh. I'm not a good sleeper. I don't really, my life at the moment doesn't really have a pattern in terms of, I don't know why I can't sleep sometimes, because I could be up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I think to myself, right, I got up early today, I'll definitely sleep tonight. But then later on that night, I'm still up at 3:30 and 4 o'clock watching a movie or something, and just
wow.
I don't really have a sleeping pattern. I doze off now and again, so I do.
Yeah.
5 hours sleep does the job.
That's the thing. I think a lot of sim racers do struggle with sleeping, mind you. I think because it is such an emotional thing, as you said. We were talking earlier, and we were saying the pre-show, in the green room, or the room that they would have behind before it all starts, is that if you have a really good evening and you win some races and do really well, it's very hard to come down from that for a while, isn't it? Because it is great fun. But it is something you have to watch for, because you do. I mean, like last night, I just took a whole night off because I just thought I can't race tonight. I've had 2 nights on the trot, and it's been so kind of highs and more highs. I just need to have an early night, so I went to bed at 10 o'clock, and that was me out for the count, because I only slept, I think, about 4 hours the night before, when I just really struggle with that. But it is something that does affect sim racers, so it is something to watch out for. Now, if you're new to the channel and you've never seen Scottie before, which is hard to imagine that you've never seen Scottie, I should have the link in the description. I'm pretty sure I put it in the description below. So hit that link, subscribe to Scottie's channel, and that would be fantastic. And if it's your first time here on the Car Sim and Race Driver Show, and you like lots of interviews with sim racers from lots of different channels, and from people like Scottie Tonight to people like Super GT and many, many others from all over the globe, hit that subscribe button. It would be amazing. And we're getting closer to 500 subs. And when we get to 500 subs, there is an amazing prize that is waiting to be claimed. Now, and we're almost there. The next week's show, I will bring out the prize to give you a little preview as to what it's going to be. So, the next question is from Tara Black, and it is, who do you predict will win the BOB this Sunday? And that, of course, is Podium's special racing.
BOB. I'm not even sure what track or anything it's on, but the young lads who turn up, if I think, was there an Enzo Ferrari, if he turns up, he'd be up there. If Oscar turns up, he'll be up there too, no doubt. They're hard to beat, these young boys, so it is. They're very, very quick, and I can't beat any of them in the BOP and the old Beatles. They're hackers. They're changing their settings. They're lowering the front of the car, and they know how to have their settings. I don't have a chance against them. So in those off-road races and stuff, I'm just there really to do a couple of donuts.
I didn't think you're allowed to change the settings on those cars. Do they not have it as a balance of performance? Or
no, I mean, the BOP is the Battle of the Beatles. I mean, Podium does the Battle of the Beatles, and I think he does 3 different races. He does do a Group 3 race with the BOP on, and then he does an old Beatle race where you're allowed to change all your settings, and then a Samba bus race where you're allowed to change all your settings, which it's great fun, but your car has to go as quick as the other guys in order for it to be great fun. And me and Jesse, the last couple of times, have just drove around on our own at the back. Our cars haven't had the right settings or something.
That'd be like me, because I was watching a little bit of it on Sunday, and I thought, he's going really fast for an old Beetle. And I thought, that can't be right. What is he running it on? Rocket fuel? It's like, it's quite a thing. Now, this question is so important, it has come up twice, maybe even 3 times. It is, what are your future plans for your YouTube channel?
hopefully to have fun and meet friends. I would love to. I would love to learn a bit more about the computer stuff and perhaps have my channel looking a wee bit more professional, and maybe at some point learn how to do Streamlabs, and maybe I would love if I get a new subscriber for it to pop up on the screen and stuff and tell me that there's a new subscriber. Even just all that simple stuff.
Yeah.
Is hopefully one day I'll learn that. At the moment, I'm just on my telephone on a stream from a PlayStation, and I'm ridiculously stupid when it comes to computers. I'm one of those guys who if my phone beeps now and tells me you have to do an update, I'm afraid to press that update in case I wake up in a desert island. And they always go to Jesse and say, "Is it okay for me to press this?" But hopefully we'll learn. As long as we keep having fun, that's really all we're going to ask for. I'm having lots and lots of fun and meeting new friends, and that's really all you need, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we have a very, very special guest in the chat. I believe your mother is watching.
Oh, Mommy, what are you doing here? Get away.
So now, if you see anything inappropriate, they'll be hell to pay later on, I'm sure. But no, you've been on your best behaviour, has Scottie been tonight, as he always is. But it's great to see you. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Rennie, but it's thanks for joining us there in the chat.
Her name, Hugh, is Renee, although my dad likes to be posh sometimes, and he calls her Renee. But her name's Renee.
That's like the French, isn't it? Renee.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you all here with us in the chat and having lots of questions, which is brilliant. Now, oh my goodness, here they are. The questions are coming thick and fast. I need to quickly run up the comments just to make sure I don't miss them. Now, here we are. So, Darren Turner asked a very good question. Why did you start a YouTube channel?
I started a YouTube channel because I had nobody to play with. I used to get on Gran Turismo and make a lobby and just sit on my own, nobody to play with and race with. And then I joined a guy called Kangi, a Scottish guy who was streaming, and I started joining his lobbies, and he was having lots of people in. I mean, he was able to turn his PlayStation on and have 11, 12 people in a room. I mean, within a few moments to play with. And after playing with him for a few weeks, I thought to myself, I'll try it. And then it was really, really easy to do on the PlayStation as well. So it was. So yeah, I've thoroughly making memories. It's almost like it's like taking a picture or something for me. It's like anytime I have a nice race or a good stream or something funny happens in the stream or something, it's a lovely wee memory for when I'm not here anymore, or anyone else who you maybe, I think maybe all of us is a wee bit like that. If you're on YouTube, you're kind of almost like the cavemen drawing a picture or writing their names on the walls. We're leaving our own wee stamp.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of putting it, isn't it? Yeah, it's a memory. It's a kind of inheritance that's there hopefully for thousands of years to come. That when they say this is how they did it in the 21st century. That no, that's a fantastic and great answer to a very good question. Now, here is one from Jessica. It says, how many bones have you broken in motocross?
And many bones. My collarbone twice. And you can't tell if you've broken ribs because I've never went to the hospital, but I feel like I've definitely broken a few ribs now and again, and just because you kind of know how it feels. But I've done my collarbone, twice, which is a very popular bone as well. It breaks very easy when you fall, and no other breaks. A lot of bruises and torn ligament damage in my ankles. Like I had two really bad ankles at one stage, where that's probably why Jessie has asked that question as well, because she had to look after me for a whole year, Hugh, walking down the stairs one step at a time, screaming like a wee baby in pain, and yeah, but in terms of breakages, my collarbone a couple of times, just and then just all your usual bruises and ligament damage. And motocross is that kind of, even if you go to a motocross race and you get first place all day, you still come back home and you're sore and you're hurt. You've still hurt
Yeah.
yourself somewhere. It's like it's that's just the way it is. You're never going to come back home and not be in pain, you know.
Yeah, no, that is the because it's all the constant jumping, isn't it, and then landing and everything else, isn't it, and all the pressures of and it's so physical as well because you're moving about so much with the bike,
Yeah.
with the corners and all of that, isn't it? That yeah, my son plays. We've got a motocross game on the PS4, and it's great fun. It looks actually quite realistic, and he enjoys it. He does these crazy crazy jumps in the air and all sorts of stuff. But it's quite a sport. So to do that for real, my goodness, you must be quite mad
Oh,
doing that.
it was absolutely amazing. I don't know how my mum and dad did it. I mean, so don't. Yeah, absolutely amazing, amazing for me to be raised in the motocross community and travel around Britain and stuff racing. It was just amazing. I mean, so it was to be brought up
Aye,
in that
aye.
environment.
Now we've got a good question here from Ray Rivera. He says, "Is the prize wheel rigged? And be honest."
No, no, of course it's not. Of course it's not, Ray. Although terms and conditions apply, and I talk shit.
But and what gave you the initiative to bring out, or what was the idea? How did it all happen to bring out that kind of prize? Because it's very unique, and I think it's fantastic.
um, I can't even remember what I used to have it. Hugh, when I first built this wee man cave, I had the wee spinner on the wall of the, I mean, of the man cave just, and it was a bit of a joke. We used to have a laugh whenever people come in. We used to say to them, "I mean, do you want to play?" I mean that there, and I just had a lose at the bottom of it, along with other great prizes, and a free spin at the top of it. And lots of times when it was on the wall, it wasn't anywhere near as free as that, so it stuck at the top, which was a
Aye,
free spin. Sometimes
aye,
if we got 3 or 4 spins, so we'd have. But yeah, I'd done that there before that, and then I thought to myself that it would be a good thing to have there as well, just for a bit of a giggle. I didn't think it would keep on going for a long time. The very first week that we played it, I think someone says to me, "Well, that's not going to last fucking thing very long, is it?" And here's a year later, and we're still handing out fabulous prizes. So it's lasted pretty good.
yeah. Well, I have to say, Glasgow says, "You mean everyone won a free drink?" And he was like, so, he's going to be questioning the integrity of your
We
of
actually
your.
had a lose at the bottom of the board, underneath the bit of paper that says free drink on it. It says lose under there. Only I changed that. I was like, no, I don't want any losers on the stream. I want only winners on the stream. So we changed it.
That's brilliant. No, that's brilliant. We've now got we've got race fan in the chat as well, and many others. It's great to see all that. It's Mike Rogers has said here. One day we'll all turn up together and clean out your bank account, Scotty.
I think on that day, Hugh, terms and conditions will apply.
I'll be watching, Mike. Make sure you don't get any dodgy emails from Mike and that normally come into your spam account saying you've won all this money. That was the thing. Now, in terms of getting to GT Sport, what would you like to see? And because GT7 isn't too far away, what would you like to see in GT7?
I love the game as it is. I know more tracks. We always need more tracks. It would be nice to have a perfect penalty system. Don't think it's possible to have a perfect penalty system. I raced in the motocross game. I don't really complain about the lag outs and the penalties and stuff, Hugh, because when I played and raced in the motocross game, sometimes it took me an hour just to turn my PlayStation on and be able to get into the room and race. So me playing on Gran Turismo Sport, I that really doesn't need a whole lot more to it. It's a really good game. If they could have the penalty system a bit better, then I don't really think we need.
Hmm.
a whole lot more. It looks amazing at the moment. It looks nicer than real life. The only reason I can tell that it's not real life is because it's more beautiful, I mean, than real life. All the
Yeah, some of
colours.
the shots are stunning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm very, very happy. I know lots of people out there are awfully disappointed that it's not only for PlayStation 5, but I jumped up and down, celebrated when I heard that it was going to be on PlayStation 4 because I thought you were all going to go away and leave me. I thought I was going to be left on my own and they were going to turn off the servers and all. I'd have been left playing SnowRunner or something on the hanging footer.
But that was actually another question that Jack was about to ask. What do you think about GT7 being on PS4?
Amazing. Love it. Brilliant news for me. Terrible news for any of you poor guys who have already spent a fortune on the PlayStation 5. I feel awfully sorry for you, but I still can't wait to smile off my face because I'll be there racing with you on my PlayStation 4.
I was quite. I mean, to be fair, it makes a lot of economic sense for them because suddenly they've got 100 million or more gamers ready to have a go. But I thought that having it just on PS5 would be a bit more. They may be able to move the game forward a bit in terms of technical side, and maybe even with graphics and other things as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because obviously a PS5 will play it a bit better. But it'll be interesting to see how the PS4 handles it and how and what they do, or if there's any exceptions, or if it's anything that's negative from it. I doubt there will be much. But I'm pleased that you're happy that you've got many more friends still being able to play it at the same time.
Hopefully they'll be able to give the PlayStation 5 guys something extra to keep them happy as well. Like if they brought out a real nice VR mode or something for the PlayStation 5 guys so as they could have a really good VR experience, maybe that would keep them a bit happier stuff. But I do get what they're saying. They've just spent a fortune on a PlayStation 5 and they're looking for improvements in the game. But again, I'm not sure how much can we improve the game. Like, I think the game's amazing. I really do. The penalty system is ridiculous at times, but when it is ridiculous, we all know that it's ridiculous. So if you learn, the top guys are able to learn how to avoid those penalties and stuff as well. That's almost an extra part of the challenge. Of Gran Turismo is trying to avoid their penalties and being smart and stuff.
Yeah,
that's usually the tracks where I perform and get lucky and have a good result because I avoid all the incidents and let everybody fight between them and then just laugh as the penalties are handed out.
I know, that's the thing. And from that, there's a good question again by Darren. That as I say, questions are coming in thick and fast. It says, "Who is the dirtiest driver you have ever come across?"
You need to get him on your channel as well. He's a YouTuber. Would you believe it, you? I'm going to call out a YouTuber, PG Motorsport, hands down the dirtiest dog.
I've actually subscribed to him. I watched it because I'm subscribed to his channel, and it was funny because before this was said, I thought, goodness me, some of his moves are pretty ropey, and so we'll have to try and get him on.
Although I have been told that it's not one guy. I've been told that there's 3 or 4 different people in the same household who use that account, which would make a whole lot of sense because sometimes he's beautiful to race with, really clean and really fast, and other times he's just there to crash in until you have arguments and stuff. But for me, I've raced my Momos lots of times, and the only reason I'm scared of Momos is because of the rumours and the videos. Momos has been really, really nice with me. So he has. For me, it would definitely have to be PG Motorsport.
Now, we've had a few comments here, one from Mike Rogers Racing, but quite a few people are agreeing with him, saying that you should use your current camera angle on your streams. It looks much better, they're saying. So maybe they can see you. Maybe they are closer.
Yeah. The problem there would be I have my laptop. My laptop now is sitting right in front of my TV, so I couldn't see the TV. And then the camera is up in the middle of the TV, so I wouldn't be able to have my PlayStation camera. And then Jesse might shout at me. Jesse might say, "Get me off camera. You can get me into trouble."
Now, that's the thing. Now, here we go. A question from Richie. How does it feel to be the only sim racer with an assistant?
It's just, no, Jesse said it feels fabulous, absolutely fabulous. So, what can I say? Thank you very much for Jesse for helping me out and keeping me up to date with all the important stuff. She's enjoying herself as well. She's having a lot of fun in the discords and the chats and stuff. And she's even, I mean, this year pandemic around the world, she was never into computers her whole life, but she's got herself a PlayStation and she's a gamer now, Hugh. She's
Wow.
sitting in the background playing Grand Theft Auto. She's even started playing Gran Turismo. She's her favorite game is the horsey game, I call it, Red Dead. She
Oh,
loves Red
fantastic.
Dead.
Yeah.
So
That was
it's lovely to see her having fun and getting into it as well. Because the more she plays her PlayStation, the more I'm allowed to play mine. You know.
that's that. I was going to say I got Red Dead Redemption 2 about a year and a half ago, or about nearly 2 years ago, and I started playing it, and it was just fantastic. Absolutely, it's quite calming, and I've never played a game where I got so kind of into the characters. In terms of you really like the main character, and you were kind of devastated when he dies at the end of it. You know, it was kind of so sad with the music at the end when he's galloping on his horse, and then that's it, kind of all over.
I haven't even played the story mode. Everyone keeps advising me and Jesse, I mean, to play the story mode, but it's just all been online basically. But a lot of people have told me that I need to go on and play the story mode on it. If you're looking for a lovely, relaxing game, I would highly recommend SnowRunner. SnowRunner's a beautiful game to play. I love it.
That's the one with the trucks, isn't it? And you got to take it through all the bad weather and stuff. And not drive off the cliff or drive into the sea. I imagine that. And I also believe you're a bit of a Grand Theft Auto fan as well. Is that something that you've played a bit?
No, I don't. I'm not into any games really, Hugh, except from a racing game. If a really good motocross game comes out, I'll get back into that as well. But I've never been into any of the war or the shooting games.
Aye.
I get a headache. I get a headache with all the movement on the screen after about 10 or 15 minutes. Usually, Jessie seems to be having a lot of fun on her shooting games at the moment. Her and Junior have been playing there for over a week now, really enjoying themselves.
That's brilliant. It's quite funny. Some of the comments we're getting in here in terms of SnowRunner. Jerry NCF1 says, SnowRunner, your driver can fall asleep, and it's hilarious. So as you're driving along, driving a big truck. And Darren says, Arthur dies. Hugh, you've ruined it for me. But I'm trying to think, because it's a wee while since I played Red Dead Redemption 2, but they did have, I think they have cheats on that, don't they, as well? You don't get some cheats on it. But whether it works, or if you're doing online, you could probably find the cheats and apply it to your game, I would have thought.
I'm not too sure about all that. Now, I'm kind of, whenever we play Red Dead, I'm usually getting lassoed by JJ or by Jack Baldwin. He usually just ties me up and throws me in the water or throws me off cliffs or something. So he does. So I'm usually just sitting and I hardly even have to look at the screen because he just drags me along with him everywhere we go.
Yeah. It's so funny though. I have to admit that game is just brilliant, especially when you have to go in the swamp and you have to race through, or if you're being chased by all the policemen through the town. It's so hard, but it's great fun. I love that. I can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 6. When I bought my PlayStation 4, it was with the box and the game of Grand Theft Auto 5. It was that special edition. And it's just so much fun. It's just great when you can kind of fly the planes and all sorts of stuff. It's just brilliant fun. My only claim to fame on the Grand Theft Auto 5 was I was able to steal one of those big jets from the airport and land it in the really small kind of sandy shores, or I think it's where Trevor has his landing site, and it's tiny. Somehow I managed to land the plane and it didn't explode as I came into this little kind of private runway. But it's so much fun. You can just do it for years and years. But because obviously you play some other mainly racing games, but would you be interested in playing other racing games? I know you mentioned a little bit about Assetto Corsa.
I would be in the Assetto Corsa a lot if there was no settings. As I say, I think Gran Turismo is so accessible for people who aren't into lowering their car and messing about with their brakes and stuff and changing all the wee things. I do understand why people love that part of the game, but I do think there needs to be a game where the guys who aren't interested in that is able, to bounce in and there's basically a BOP. Because if I was playing, I feel like if I was playing a set of courses, even if I ended up one of the best in the world at a set of courses, if I got second place and the guy beat me, a wee bit of an excuse in the back of my brain would be sitting there thinking he's got a better setup. Whereas Gran Turismo, there is no excuses at all because of the BOP. I don't have the time to learn, and I don't have an interest to learn how to change the settings and stuff. It's like another whole different game. I get why guys really do love it. So do, but for me, I need a game just that I can turn on and jump into and know that I'm in the same car as everybody else and it's a fair race, rather than have a wee doubt at the back of your head that they're hackers or they're cheating. They've got their settings changed and stuff like that.
It is, and the thing is, you can buy good setups from people like David Perel and Coach Dave, and and his site there, but I suppose having the good setups just makes the car slightly easier to drive fast. Well, if you go into a standard setup, even on aggressive settings, for example, in a Serie Corsa Competizione, it can help quite a bit. It can give you a bit of a start, but it still takes quite a lot of adapting as to how you drive the car. But I do enjoy it. I have to say, I'm hoping that because I've been playing more Serie Corsa, I'll be better on GT Sport, because I find that when I do a lot more of that, it just teaches you a bit better about the lines and the acceleration points and things like that, braking points, and because I think it's more of a sim than GT Sport. But then you can just jump onto GT Sport.
Guys actually say that whenever they go away from Gran Turismo on the Serie Corsa and then they come back, that they're actually a bit faster on Gran Turismo because they've learned more.
Yeah.
Serie Corsa. It looks amazing, the game. Serie Corsa, the sounds of it and the graphics of it really does. It's very, very impressive. As I say, I would be all over that stuff for sure. Only I have to learn how to do settings and stuff like that. That just kind of makes me not have an interest in it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Now, we've got some good comments here from Glasgow. He says, PS4s are being thrown out of the window after Hugh spoiled Red Dead Redemption 2. I thought you all knew. It's been out for years. And that's, it was like, but it is a great game nonetheless, and well worth doing. And at the end, I think you have two options for Arthur, do you not, as to how to sort them out. But and then Jack Balding says, "How does it feel to be lassoed in Red Dead?"
Sometimes it's nice, JJ. Sometimes it's nice, and it allows me to have a cup of tea whilst you're tying me up. I think he tied me up there the other week, and he's not happy throwing me into the water and throwing me off cliffs. He tied me up, and he put me on the back of my own horse, and he fleed my horse, and then he just walked behind me and followed me as my horse took me off into the sunset.
That's the thing. One of my favourite bits is when you're going to go down to the almost to the border, just before you get to, and there's a kind of criminal outpost there, and you have to attack all of that to get some of the goodies that are in there. And in the end, I think I used like flamethrowers or the kind of bottles of petrol, whatever it was, and other things to get there. But that was good. And also at the castle, if you go miles and miles away over the border, and then you have to get across to the other side, and then there's a castle. I think it's like a Spanish castle or something. And you have to, they attack you. It's a prison, I think it is. And you have to kind of get in. And if you can manage to get in there, it's quite good fun. It's quite a good challenge. What's your highlights of that game?
Oh, just being tied up. It can be frustrating at times for me. I think to myself, there's no way people would, be finding this entertaining if I'm doing a live stream of it, because most of the time I'm lying on the ground tied up or else. and he usually ties me up at the start of a job, so we'll start a bounty, and he he lassos me, he pulls me off my horse, ties me up, and then all the rest of the posse all go and do the job whilst I'm on the ground, and then I'm a mile behind them, and I get lost and I don't know where I'm going. So we need them to slow down and wait on us.
That's the thing. Now, getting back to Gran Turismo, as that's your specialist subject, Richie has asked, what are your top 3 moments in Gran Turismo?
Well, have you not heard about the day that we turned up in Top Split, Richie? We turned up at Goodwood. I don't know how we did it. We somehow scraped into a Top Split race, and Tidney was there, and Kay was there, and we were in an old piece of Rappo. That was a lovely memory to have. We got a top 5, our first ever race in Top Split, and we got a top 5. So that was an amazing feeling. Of my favourite memory is at Monza. I'd done a race at Monza, and started on the harder compounded tires. So the race we were in 13th, 14th place for most of the race, but then at the end of the race we were on the softer compounded tires, and it was just one of those special wee races where it all came to you. It was lonely for the whole race, but then in the last 2 or 3 laps with just loads of guys in front of us, and we ended up on the last lap we went like from 7th place up in the 3rd. That was an amazing last lap. So it was loads of good memories, and hopefully many more to make. Meeting a lot of fast guys. I like the dancing and stuff. And the good thing about meeting fast guys, Hugh, is that they have fast friends, so they can go and get more fast guys. It's always nice to have. If you race with fast guys, then you're going to get faster, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. That sounds great. No, I was going to say, actually, they are. We've got a good question here from Rumar saying, are Scottie's eyebrows a tribute to Nigel Mansell? He says they're amazing.
Are they big? I maybe should have trimmed them the night. I was going to put lipstick and all on. I thought to myself, we'll have to look our best. So then I maybe should have trimmed them. But if you're impressed with my eyebrows, I don't know if you can see my eyelashes, but I've been told frequently throughout my life by women that my eyelashes are absolutely beautiful. So I like to flutter my eyelashes sometimes.
Oh, well, now we've had requests here from both Jack and Jessica saying you need to sing us a song.
No, I can't. But I'll give us a concert. We're too nervous to do that live on stream, or we're too nervous to do that in the conversation. I mean, so we are. But if you come and get me in the right mood on the right day, we'll sing whatever you want. We could sing all day for hours. We'll give you a full concert if you catch us in the right mood.
Now, I was going to say, we are having a new community race. It's the Hugh Hattrick Touring Car Community Championship, and it's been very kindly put together by Rascal Rabbit, who's done a huge amount of work, and it's on our Discord channel, and we're always looking for more people to sign up. And we've already got at least one full lobby, if not more. So it's going to be exciting, and it's starting from the end of July. But do you think, because you obviously quite like your front-wheel drive cars as well, I see you a lot of the time in Group 4 doing extremely well. Is that something, would you be interested in coming along and perhaps doing a race with us once a month?
Yeah, definitely, Hugh, for sure. I'm a wee bit nervous, as I was saying to you, on your Discord, I looked it up, and then it says that something about you have to add weight or change the settings, and like I say, I'm a wee bit slow when it comes to knowing how to change all the settings, but I would definitely be interested. Hopefully you'll not catch me that I haven't changed my settings or have done something wrong and I've got first place and I've ended up having to be disqualified. He was too late.
Well, we'll always keep that in mind. But no, I'm only joking. No, I think it's going to be quite straightforward how it's all done. So it'll be everyone will be on our Discord. You can ask questions and they'll be able to come back to you to be able to make sure that everything is the way that it should be.
How do I actually enter it, Hugh?
There's a registration on my Discord, on the Hugh Hattrick Discord channel, and you just go into that and you'll be able to register, and you can choose the car you would like and the top 4 requests, and also what number you would like, and your PSN details and things like that. So it's very, very straightforward to do it, but it's fantastic. There are still people who are determined to get you to sing. and not just your wife, or not just Jessica, who are there to asking you to sing.
Let me try this one then, Hugh. Sometimes if you pretend you're on your own, it gives you confidence to damn it. No, it didn't. I was going to try. I tried it. I tried to sing. By locking doors and turn them lights down low. Put some music on it soft and slow. There, that's all I can do. A big red face. What do you like?
Brilliant. Very good. I've never had anyone sing on my show yet, which is you're the first.
Get in there. Scottie was the first.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, keep your questions coming as we come to nearly an hour of interviews on here for Scottie. But there's something that you would never normally get on the Car 7 Race Driver Show. It's a first on the show tonight, and they're all giving you many congratulations. And he's saying you've gone country and western, which is brilliant. But, so what are your immediate plans then for your next few weeks of races? What can we look forward to seeing on your channel?
I'm hoping that I'll race the FIA race at Sardinia. I need to do some more practices. I'm in the Beetle. It's a Group 3 race, so it's my favourite track, and I will be fast in the Beetle. But I've grinded my DR up to 75, so I'm going to be in top split, or I'm going to be in split 2. And I don't think the Beetle is going to be fast enough to hang with the guys in the slipstream. But I'll give it another few practices and make sure that I'm confident that I'm up to speed, and then I'll decide if I want to drive around and get last place or not. You know, I prefer. There's nothing. I don't want to turn up the top split race and be the idiot in the room who's way off the pace, and everyone's firing messages my way at the end of the race saying, "Oh, how did you get here?" and all. You're so slow, or you're braking in the wrong place. You know, I'd like the most important thing when you turn up in a race with all those guys is to hopefully let them see that you're a nice, clean, respectable driver, and then they'll hopefully remember you and make friends with you, and then they'll have more fast friends to help improve you.
No, that is good. That is good. I have to say, I'm staggering away because these great comments are coming through all the time, thick and fast. And now Damo has said, have I not had the spin? Have I not had to spin your famous Wheel of Fortune there? And I did have that spin a number of months back. I think I won a free drink.
You did indeed.
Yeah, and I know Glasgow says that when he comes to visit you, he is expecting that. He can. And now, and then Glasgow has also said, any chance of some decent prizes on the Wheel of Fortune?
There is a fabulous prize handed out every time we're playing.
That's brilliant. But well, look, there we are. We're coming up to nearly an hour on the show, which has been absolutely fantastic. And unless we've got more questions coming in, we can call it a night. But as we begin to close on the show, it's just been brilliant, Scottie, having you on the show, and all the comments, all the people that have been coming in and saying things and supporting you is just huge, and they can just tell you're a lovely guy, and just it's great fun watching your streams and the way things all work. It's just so nice. I mean, I think it's very relaxing watching your shows and just being able to chat in. So I encourage everyone who's watching tonight to watch your when you get that little notification when you subscribe to Scottie's channel, make sure you click it and go in there and give him some support and keep him on his toes when all that, because it's fantastic fun. Now, do you have any messages for your community as they're watching just now?
Thank you very much, guys. It's lovely to have anybody in the chat for a wee bit of company. You know, it's just really encouraging to have people there who's interested in watching me playing my PlayStation and having fun. You know, and if it's just a really lovely feeling. Thank you ever so much for joining me on my PlayStation adventure. And goodness knows where it goes. Hopefully my steering wheel will stay alive, and I would imagine it's really it's Gran Turismo that interests everybody. You know, Hugh, I think if my steering wheel broke and he ended up, I didn't play Gran Turismo anymore, I don't think anyone would watch me playing SnowRunner or anything like that there. So it's I love my racing game, and really thank you all so much for joining me. It's lovely to have. I mean, guys, there, you know, it's a lovely feeling, and I'm sure at some point I'll experience. I mean, the hit rate as well that comes through whenever if we do ever get a wee bit popular. I'm sure there'll be people, and who knows what way we'll feel when that goes down. But we'll find out. Hopefully in the future, hopefully we'll be able just to laugh all that stuff off.
Oh yeah, of course.
On all the positive.
Yeah, you're way more positive than anything negative. Don't worry about people who are being silly. It's you just it's they quit pretty quickly, head away to other places. Now there's one great question from Podium, he's been in there lurking away in the chat. It is are there pickles in your freezer? Says Podium.
Is there what in the freezer?
Pickles.
Pickles? What is it with Podium and his pickles? Podium loves his pickles. No, I'm not a pickle. I'm not a pickle man, Podium. I'm an ice cream and chocolate kind of guy. So I love me ice cream and I love my chocolate, but no pickles.
Oh, that's the thing. Because that's the thing. They tend to preserve you if you eat too many pickles. That's one of my old friends said. He was well into his 80s, and he said that's a secret for a long life: eating pickled onions and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's an acquired taste, isn't it? Overall.
Yeah.
But on that note, now you've watched this show long enough and many a time to know our crazy quotes that we always finish with.
I'll even do Jesse's impression of you. You'll all be able to do this. It's so easy. You just go like that. So you do. Where is the camera? You just put your hands like that and say, "Hello, I'm Hugh Hatrick. Welcome to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. Today, I'll be driving fast and trying not to crash. And I might just win it in the very first corner."
It couldn't have been done any better. Well, Scottie, it's been a privilege having you on the show, and it's been a blast as well. And thank you very much. Stay on the line as we close the show. But there you have it. That's been the best impression. I didn't realize there were people out there making impressions of me. But there you go. It's been fantastic for everybody watching and listening here on the podcast as well. Remember, we've got the Discord, which you're welcome to join, and you can add lots of things in there too. It's great fun and a fantastic community. And next week, I'll be racing on Monday night on hopefully Gran Turismo will be back again. And on Thursday, there might be a very special show, and it's going to be a very unique show as well. Because there's a few little things that we have to do in order to make it work. But so watch out for that. I will let you know as next week continues on. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you a huge amount for Scottie coming on the show, and I'm sure you all agree he's been a brilliant guest. So take care, drive fast, and try not to crash. And if you do, you might just win the race at the first corner. Bye just now.